are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
What's happening? What it do? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Shout out to everybody on the East Coast. Shout out to everybody down south, up north, in between the scene in the Midwest, right here where we at on the West or any other country you may be at. We appreciate y'all for being here on the patio. You see me, you know what it is. King Mac Millie, the value that allows you the opportunity to know the rest. But I ain't here by myself, you know what I'm saying? I got my two brothers, my two riders from my left to my right. Who you be like?
Kendon, rider for life, family. Y'all know the deal. What's happening?
Man, I like how Kendon is always like poised everything. I'm like, y'all don't know when y'all gonna get trouble, team, man. You might get trouble today, you might get calm.
You just never know.
The topic we got today, I don't know. It might be a little trouble in there.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting. You know, it might get a little bit. Well, I don't know. Yeah. This is triggering for me. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it's real triggering for me.
I think it's triggering for a lot of cats. I think a lot of cats that probably aren't honest with themselves.
Yeah. Well. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of honesty shed here. You know what I'm saying? Because the topic of today's show is the dangers of being a follower, finding your own path as a man. So the seed has been planted. We are watering the soil. We are about to grow. You know what I'm saying? But before we do that, we must go to the theme like.
We hope you stay a while, 'cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, 'cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like, whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's right for life. Oh, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah.
You gotta show me. You gotta show me. I need step by step.
When I tell you, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was in the kitchen like,
yeah, you trendsetting in the kitchen, bro. Yeah.
Man, tell them what's gonna happen if they don't stay a while, man.
I don't know, man. You might find yourself following somebody off the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Drive you right off the road. You know what I'm saying? You might want to stay here. We're
gonna keep them in the trunk this
time.
Walk
off a cliff. Drive you off a cliff. Leave you in the car.
Walking away, all you hear is.
Like the end of GTA 5.
Being a follower, this is what you get.
For being a follower, exactly. Yeah. Jesus Christ, the dangers of being a follower. T, what's a follower in your opinion?
You know what? I would have to say that a follower is somebody who probably doesn't even recognize that they're being a follower. And when I say that, I mean like they are literally living on autopilot, just like kind of attaching to whatever happens, whatever goes along. They don't have any concept of paving their own way. And they also do that because they're fearful of, if they go their own way, what it might cost them, who they might lose, who might not approve of it.
Interesting. Okay.
You ever look in your rear view and you see the headlight?
See the blue and the red lights?
Hey, in my words, I can say a follower is somebody who simply doesn't think for themselves, who have gave all their mental capacity to either outside opinions, outside forces, or just simply letting somebody else drive their narrative in life.
A drifter.
Yes.
Shameless plug to another panel we did. Check out When the Devil Show out.
Man.
How about you, King Brother?
Okay, I like both of those different aspects, different visions, and it's crazy how you could come up with so many different versions of what one thing is.
Perspectives, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a follower, I would say that a follower is somebody that consciously makes the attempt habitually to not be their original self. Whatever it is that comes across their ears or their eyes that seem to be better than the trauma that they're trying to deal with from within, that's what I want to become.
Yeah.
Whether I know how to be that or not, I'm going to follow that and hope that I can make that home.
Yeah.
Instead of dealing with what's at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all out there being followers, the version inside of you that you should be following is better than the follower of which you are becoming.
Let me ask you, like what you saying that, how would you think someone would identify their original self? Like if they coming up, you know what I mean? You know how it is coming up in this world, man, especially coming up in LA. It's a lot of smoke screen going on and trying to get past the layers and discover your real self. Like, how do you think someone can get to the point to be like, okay, that part of me is the follower. This part of me is like, this is who I want to be more of. What do that look like and what do that feel like?
Oh, I got a lot of for that. But
Yeah, go
ahead, man, because y'all might say something that I'm already thinking.
Because I'm thinking through and I'm just like, you just got to follow that one person that leads you to that life-changing decision of figuring it out. Like, okay, I didn't rock with that all the way like I thought I would. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you got some people that would recognize that feeling and still not tap in at all. Yeah. It's just be like, oh, whatever, and just follow something different instead of just going back home and just like, something wasn't right about that. Let me figure this out.
Yeah.
I don't think and I say I don't think because there could have been a time in my life where I was and I just wasn't conscious about it, like you said. But I don't think I've ever been a follower of sorts. I'm gonna show up on the front line next to you and we're gonna walk together type joint. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just like, what y'all doing over there? Fuck that. I'm gonna just go do my shit over here. You know what I'm saying? It's easier for me to do that than to rock with y'all.
And I'm gonna say to that too, Mac, I think there's we also have to distinguish the difference between two is a follower and someone who's misguided. Because if you're misguided, you could be someone who's not a follower but just being misguided in the wrong direction. Yeah. Versus when I think of somebody who's a follower, I think of just like even having conversations with certain people when you hear them making points that you know they just regurgitating information they heard from somebody else and they don't even know whether it's true or not. Or the way they move is based off of what they have been told to believe is true or not. Matter of fact, let's bust the topic even more wide open.
Bust that thing open.
In not just the Talking Dirty episodes we've done, but in just different spaces of my life, having conversations with asking women, not because I don't have conversations with dudes, but I'm like asking women, do you know your body or yourself sexually? Yeah. Because if you don't, then are you just following what society says that, I just, missionary on top, and I guess it was a good night. Or are you actually like? Because to me, that's what I'm saying when I say like follower shit. Like, not even, you're just on autopilot. You're not even making an attempt at anything else. Another thing I'll say to bust it wide open too. No offense to anybody out there, but several of my own students I've watched. I've told my students numerous times, like, if I got a chance to go back to school, completely pay for it and study anything different, it would be psychology and human behavior, because I just sit back and watch them sometimes. I'm like, why do people do what they do? I was like, you saw her do that, and then you just went and did that. But you saw that hurt her, but you wanted to see, And I'm just saying that starts to manifest itself on an even larger level at certain areas of life. So much so to the point where people don't change their behavior because they feel like they're drowning in it. Yeah. Because they've been following. Yeah.
Denying their true self.
Drifting.
Yeah.
I could never deny my true self, especially in learning who I really am. Like, what? Why would I ever want to be anybody else than who I am? Man, you know what I'm saying? Man. The whole world ain't even got an opportunity. The small world that I'm in ain't even got the opportunity to experience me because I'm just figuring out who I am. You know what I'm saying? Man. When you walk into the room, people feel a presence. People feel an aura. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and it's just like, I've been working on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How do you work on that? You can't be following.
See, that's leadership type energy that you just, that's why I said there's a difference between following and being misguided. Right. In the sense of maybe you needed to be guided in a different direction.
Would y'all consider people pleasing a form of following?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely contest to that, man. Like just saying, like earlier years, just wanting to feel accepted, wanting to be a part of certain organizations, or even being in just certain rooms, and like it don't necessarily have to be something in particular, but just wanting to be a part of the crowd and not be the outcast, and would deny parts of myself that I know is my truth, but then just kind of keep it on the back burner because I want to fit up in this room, you know, per se, and just understanding though, like, man, like that right there, you dimming your light, you know, just trying to help somebody else grow, like, and that's something that we should never ever do, you know. Just wondering if y'all ever had those.
Would you say like back at CSUN in those days too, maybe?
Definitely in those days, and I'm gonna say for me, it showed up in different departments.
Okay.
It wasn't always in certain spaces. I know I'm gonna own who I am, but in certain spaces, I wanna be a part of this, you know, because like especially being somebody who's probably like a loner most of the time, where it'd be like, okay, I want to be accepted. Let me see what I gotta do to, you know, to be. I mean, I still be myself, but I would allow certain things that I know I wouldn't agree with. Yeah, you know, like things like that, to where it's like, all right, then I go back later, like how you said, I had that part be like, nah, that wasn't it, man, and you know, talk myself out of it to where I never do that again, but. You know, just speaking on that, I have been a part of the other crowd before, and being a part of the later crowd, man, it's a lonely walk.
Yeah, very.
It can be, you know, definitely lonely, but the results, man, I feel like are definitely where the greater us is. They say the greater version of us grow through challenges. You know what I mean? Definitely. That'd be the hard thing to get to sometimes.
Man, I don't know, like showing up. You could be a follower. It still might be a good thing if you end up following the right person. Right on. Accident.
Right on. Every great leader was once a great follower.
You know what I'm saying?
But when we talk about following in that aspect, that's that's like apprenticeship. When you're
possibly,
or
it couldn't be.
But I'm saying that, like, when I think of, okay, so if we're going to distinguish different types of followers, then, because I'm thinking of like. That to me is no different than like now, you know, I follow mentors that I have. I know I'm following them. I know they know more than I do, but it's intentional. There's intent behind it. Right. I also would know how to filter out bullshit too, because I know there are certain things we're not from the same generation that they don't understand now. I think somebody, when I think of a follower, I think of somebody who's just like, you know, gonna follow whatever.
Right.
You're not a follower. You're building relationships in that sense. You know what I'm saying? When I tell people that connotations are important, they're really important.
Yeah.
Because when you start breaking down one word and you get to the many different directions of that one word or whatever, the definition starts to change. Then the conversation starts to change.
I call you a follower, and then let me call you a student. Like we can find the traces in both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, we all got to be some followers, because we got to follow the protocol and go to commercial break. But if you follow us, then that means you're going to be right back here with us on the patio after this.
Yes, sir.
You trust me? Come here. I want to help you ease your anxiety if you allow me to. I think it's magical how kisses slow down time. I can make your spirit move at the pace of the earth when your lips meet mine. Life is so much better when you slow down. We're so in a rush just to go nowhere when the best place to be is right here.
So slay like you do, and I kill them too. Together we in this, no need to check the list. Arrive to the entrance, on our time we exit. No credit or debit, it's all yours to me. RSVP not recommended. +1, baby, you got my full selection. +1, yeah.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Indeed. You done followed us right back here to the episode, and we thank you for that indeed. You know what I'm saying? Man, as a man though.
I was gonna say I got a question for y'all on that.
Spit it.
So, can we be transparent here and maybe
always
all because when I speak on all this too, I'm not speaking from a place of self-righteousness. I look back on times and realize, like, dang, just being a follower alone had my life out of whack in so many different areas. You know, and I could be transparent about that. I think a lot of dudes, especially on the topic, the fact that the dangers of being a follower as a man, finding your own path as a man. I think a lot of times that's why books are written the way they are, why superhero movies are all about, you know, finding the you know, you find the guy who didn't know himself and then he becomes whatever. So can y'all maybe even share on, like, have you ever had one of those moments or maybe one of those, like, seasons where you came into discovery that you were being a follower before?
I know for me, I can go into what you said about the misguidedness. So for me, that's more so what my situation was. Coming up from in a household where gangbanging has been traditional, definitely, and being amongst my adolescent comrades at the time, and just hearing the conversations in the room. Say just one of those small moments, probably like one of those late nights, fellas drinking and smoking. I'm not drinking and smoking at the time, and just hearing the conversations that we talking about and just the cycles. But knowing that I'm also one of those persons that at school got a 3.2 GPA and sitting in front of my classroom, yet I'm still battling in this world, but just knowing that there's another side of me that is
balance,
awoke, and that is like I see this world that I'm living in, but there is the emotional side of me that this is where I come from, this is where I feel comfortable at, these are my brothers, and knowing that, hey man, if we about to hop in this car and we about to go do X, Y, and Z, truthfully, that's not my truth right now, but I'm doing it because of loyalty reasons and whatnot. I know for me, that's what it was, loyalty. You know, that's why I go back to, you know, the people pleasing thing, because even though I feel like in my heart, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do right, at the same time, it is a part of me that I wouldn't be doing this if I was by myself. Yeah. Or maybe not to this extent, you know. So yeah, if that answers your question, I can definitely dose on, like, I was definitely misguided, because in my mind I thought that, you know, this is it. And mind you, I got a mom, I got parents who didn't condone none of that, so they wouldn't do that. But when, you know, your relationship with your siblings is kind of different from your relationship
what you're introduced
with your parents. You know, parents can be teaching you this, but you go in the room, close the door, bro teaching you this. And so just saying that to say, you know, straddling the fence right there, not honoring the true commitment of Kendon.
I had to go into deep thought to really think about a time where I could have possibly been a follower. And I had to go back to my childhood because, like, I was raised in a broken household, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have both parents or whatever. I didn't have siblings around or whatever. It was just throw you out there and however you operate is how you operate. So I immediately recognized myself to be insubordinate because I don't like being told what to do. You can ask me, but don't tell me what to do. And even now that I'm a grown man, it's really like, please, don't tell me what to do. Just ask me if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation about it. But like going back to my childhood, shout outs to B Rob, you know what I'm saying? South Central stand up, all the way to elementary, you know what I'm saying? We was going to the YMCA after school or whatever. And it wasn't one of those, I was a follower, but it was just like, this is my friend. Whatever he doing, I'ma do it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do or whatever type shit or whatever. And one time,
misguided though, right?
Well, perhaps, but I wasn't. I can't view it as a misguided because I wasn't looking for him to lead me anywhere.
But I'm saying,
just doing hood rat shit with my friends,
and the action showed up. Probably on the outside looking in. Somebody can look at it as following, but
who was leading? Who was
intentions is
that's what I mean. Misguided, like you didn't have like you were doing what you. Because like you said, you want people to tell you what to do. So that's still the mentality, I think, of a leader. Just not like, guided, you know.
In that sense, like we were going to the YMCA after school or whatever. The bus was late picking us up. We know where the YMCA is at. Woodcrest is on 106, you know what I'm saying?
Century and Vermont, right there. Yeah.
YMCA ain't too far, but we in 4th grade, third grade type shit. And it's just
Woodcrest
like, well,
elementary.
It's like, fuck it, let's walk then. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fuck it, let's walk then. We done already hit the ice cream truck. Let's fucking walk. Me not thinking like, boy, you about to get your ass towed the fuck up if y'all get caught walking, which we did. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't even going to the YMCA. We were supposed to be at YMCA, but they was having whatever program at 95th Street School. So that's where they were supposed to be taking us. So lo and behold, we walk in the streets. There go my grandma rolling the streets. She see a nigga.
Y'all walking to 95th?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all walking past Century.
Yeah. We already trooping and
Young
trucking.
too?
You know what I'm saying? So, and it was just one of those type things where it's just like, I don't think I was following. It was just, I didn't know that I was doing something bad.
Yeah.
But in that moment,
I was just active with the homie.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that moment though, technically, right?
Yeah. When I look at it now, it's just like because
your parents tell you like, yeah, don't be a follower, and
because the homie, bad. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to you though, B-Rob. You know what I'm saying? You're doing incredible in life now. But like me at that time, I wasn't as bad. I was figuring out my bad.
So let me ask you this: if you was asked why you did what you did, what would have been a response that you gave?
Because I was gonna get the whooping anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing I can say to get out of it.
Reflective moment on it, you know, all these years later, like a documentary type.
I'd have been like, I just really wanted to get to where we were supposed to go. The bus was late. When in actuality, the bus was not late. We just missed it being at the ice cream truck.
I just wanted to go to that ice cream truck.
Yeah. That was the move. Got to get the warheads. Got to get the whoopee cushions, the fart bombs, all that.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's why I said even I used the example earlier of my students, how things start on a minute level. I can remember being back in school and being that like me and my brothers, we were what do you call it? Not confined, restricted. Yeah. So I'm like, just for me, walking across the street from the school was like, oh,
Jesus
really?
Christ.
Well, at the time,
was that bad?
Well, I mean, I grew up in East Oakland. I know. For y'all out here, you know, I don't know what part of LA is equivalent.
Yeah, well, it don't matter what part is equivalent as a kid. We just didn't give no shit.
Moms was tripping. Moms was tripping about going to the store, but if she ain't there, she in the house. Yeah, we gone. Yeah, the store right here, right down the street. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Let's just act like we playing outside and then we disappear for a little bit and come back.
Yeah.
Where was y'all at?
A little bit of unmonitored for a second, you know.
Yeah.
It was ways around it. You know what I'm saying? That's it's.
When you got a big family, you can slip through the cracks.
You can. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on like what your parents feel about how you move outside the home. Because I know for me, to answer the same thing, I'll say like I think being a follower before, when I look back on life, I'm like, dang, I don't even respect that person that I was because I probably stayed in relationships too long. I kept friendships that I shouldn't have kept, and not because there was any necessarily hostility or whatnot, but it was like things that I knew a long time ago that I probably should have let go of if I was following my own path. And as a leader, knowing like how I pave out my life now, there are certain people I look back on, I'm like, I would have never linked up with you ever, or never moved with you at all, ever. And then I don't know about y'all, I could just be transparent, like placing too much importance on certain other people, you know, and even just I just look at biblically,
I hear that
almost the same thing they talk about in terms of idolatry, placing importance on other people because other people you respect are placing importance on that person.
Yeah.
You know, and then looking back and all these years later, I'm like, oh, you just a nigga like me, or you just another person.
Same.
You ain't nobody.
Yep.
You know, and
perspective and perception.
Yep.
That's something I don't hear a lot of cats be transparent and honest about. That's what I can be honest about. Even women, even female friends, even family members.
Yeah.
People I went to school with. Hell, I'll be another version of transparent. People in my own fraternity. So you know, and that's where you really got to find your own path, especially when you're around people who are seeking a common goal, because that one bad apple still can spoil the tree.
Oh yeah,
man. Like, hey, you speaking on fraternity? I can speak on it. Like, I know in the gang atmosphere, it's the saying that everybody serve their purpose in the hood, and there's the thing, like, you know, if you ain't doing nothing for the hood, you know, we got a meeting, you got a DP coming, right? You know, like, disciplinary, right? Depending on the program, who's the big homie at the time, and but just thinking about that aspect though, like how is there one thing to do? Like, we all different, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, with the fraternity, you know, I can get into that too. It's like, man, when you got brothers and whatnot, and when you got people who you call yourself being loyal to, it's hard to follow your own path and still stay stay solid with the program.
Yeah.
It's like I only can do one or the other. That's when a lot of people realize that, man, this shit ain't for me, or that it's not for me, or that I have surpassed this, or that I can provide something different in this environment or this organization. And then that's when, them leadership roles. That's why I say, like, well, a lot of great leaders was once followers too, because they learn what not to do, and they learn how to pass that torch on and provide people with the ways to think to actually become their own man. Like, it's pain in that.
You just gave
gave
me something.
You just gave me something to it.
And I'm going to hold on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write it down just a bit. And I'm going to hold on to it because we got to go to commercial.
Bills, right?
You know what I'm saying? But
I ain't going to commercials. Y'all go.
Yeah. Follow, stay put, however, whatever. We're going to be right back after this.
Come on.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
I have been a follower in my life. All my life, as a matter of fact. I'm still a follower now. Now that I really, really decipher the thought and the idea of it, and let me explain it this way. The reason why I consider myself to be a follower now, and that I've always been a follower, and I love just having these moments of clarity in the space, because it's just like I've never been there before. But recognizing that I've always been there. Like I said earlier, every follower is not a bad follower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But seeing how I was brought into the world and how I was raised up, immediately I had to pay attention to my surroundings and everything going through. So indirectly, I'm following what I don't like from what I see. You know what I'm saying? To then in turn become something completely opposite from what that was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like learn what not to do.
Yeah. So it's like when I think about it that way, it's just like, oh, I've been a follower all my life. You know what I'm saying? But in a reverse type of fashion, type joint. You know what I'm saying? It's just peeping the energy that y'all own and everything that y'all doing, pulling out what I can rock with, and then leaving everything that I don't, which is usually a lot of it.
You know what I heard before adding to this is Aristotle. He said that he probably stole this too. A lot of them thieves. That was that
from the motherland.
You already know.
Yeah.
Was that one of the main forms of learning? Imitation is one of the main forms of learning. You think about when a baby does things and when they repeating what you're teaching, what you're saying, and
my
everything.
Students do all the time.
It's imitation. Like that's the way that we learn through life. You know, or you want to learn how to do something, watch this person do it maybe, and afterwards, you know, you add your own spin to it. You add your own vibration to it to make it yours. But a lot of the things that we have learned has been.
And even in that sense, it's not. Sometimes it couldn't be a watch this person something.
Right on.
Sometimes it's
right
like,
on.
teach me.
Yeah.
I see that, cool, but teach me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You may pick it up differently, you may collect it differently, or however. But just in the conversation of just pulls out the recognition of it or whatever. But and I'm proud to be a follower in that light because I'm always changing, I'm always progressing, I'm always growing. You know, it's always something out there to pull from or to receive. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be open and following your path. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different ways to be a follower. You know what I'm saying? You know?
One of the
shed light on something too.
One of the first things you see when you open the Bible says, Jesus gave one rule: follow me.
Simplistically put.
Now, and you know, one thing I wanted to shed light on too, just to like make sure that we conclude on the topic as well too. The second half, you know, finding your own path as a man. You know, maybe we can all briefly speak on it, you know, before we get out of here. But
I feel like I have been. This whole time,
Come on.
Go for it.
I'm talking about like moving forward. Like, you know, I was being transparent earlier, and then even being transparent for me. Like, I think when you actually recognize that you need to find your own path, it's scary for a lot of cats.
Yeah.
And, you know, I see a lot of stuff on the internet now where people are saying like, oh, I can't stand men having podcasts. But I'm like, men have not traditionally had spaces
to speak
and having space
to release.
Yeah. Well, we're not where we weren't policed about it or threat of being canceled. And so now you have a lot of spaces now where I think you will start to see more and more cats speaking on stuff like this as well too, because I think a lot of what they represent to us is we recognizing other people were thinking stuff that we were thinking all along, you know, or you watching content, you're like, dang, he thought that too, or you thought that way too, you went through that too.
Like finding out we more alike than different.
Yes. So, you know, like I know for me, when I first recognized that I needed to like pave my own way in a lot of areas, I'm like, okay, I don't got the money for this. I don't have the time for this. I have this, and this going on, or I'm no longer in this kind of shape. How I'm gonna do this? Now I have this on my plate. Until you get to that point where you just like, man, fuck it. This is the direction I'm going, which is my own path, whatever that means to you. You know, and it's so rewarding. But again, like you said, it is lonely in the beginning, because you're washing away all those people who were attached to the follower version of yourself.
It's kind of like you shedding, you letting go a part of yourself in that process too.
And although earlier in the show I did agree to that being lonely in that walk, but now I gotta renege on that. You know what I'm saying?
Perspective.
Because it's like
it's not always one thing.
You're never lonely on that walk if you hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you should be on the walk.
That's why.
So it's never a lonely walk. It's never a lonely walk, because right here is the most interesting company you could ever have on any journey that you're on.
Indeed, King brother, and I agree that that's the ultimate truth. And speaking, I know that sometimes the perspective of people who are doing that following path, it's like, damn, everybody around me. It's like, you know, we forget to look within.
Fuck the perception. What's the reality of it all?
I wonder how many people out there ever get to a point, you know, I don't mean nothing against nobody, but you know, when you have that moment of realization and then you look at everybody around you, be like, damn, I'm surrounded by idiots. or I'm just like, and sometimes the idiots are the people that you love.
Yeah.
And then you find out, like, damn, that was one part of me that attracted that.
If it's the people that I love, I'm for sure, y'all some dumbasses. And I'm one too. Fuck.
I love y'all dumbass.
Well, you know, you just wonder how many cats out there are counting the cost, because I don't think a lot of times, especially as men who actually feel a responsibility, you know, because they love to say we don't be about shit, but I mean, guys who actually feel a responsibility to accomplish a purpose in life don't often take times to like sit still and think, okay, like, what is my path? Like what really is my path? Like if I'm a bus driver, it's not just about driving buses. Like, you know, am I adding my spirit to this and making sure that my customers feel like they have
I was about let me ask this too, or find a question within it, if you will. So like walking a new path, you know, used to the darkness, now you're doing something that's completely new, different. What is the gauge to determine, hey, I'm doing something right? Because, you know, sometimes be like, damn, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I living the life I'm supposed to be living? If it's that, right. And outside of
Back to Napoleon, K.
outside of the cliche, you know what I mean? Like not outside of it, because that's the ultimate truth.
That's the ultimate.
But just for the relatability, I know one thing that I've gauged within that was the fruit that comes out of it. The fruit that you bear, to be like, damn, them results was like everything that I needed, and
was because
you would know the connection when you feel it here. It's like, damn, that's everything that wasn't here before. Now I got more of X, Y, and Z after I done this. You know, like what are some results you see that determines like, hey, I'm doing the right walk.
Yeah. Even within that same conversation of being a follower, because we have talked about leadership and leaders and everything like that, I look at that word and I go, well, I don't want a bunch of followers, because, man, that ain't a whole bunch of me's. Like, you can't be me.
Come on.
You can't beat me.
Come on.
I can barely be me at this point, but I'm doing my damnedest to be all of me. So you can't beat me. Yeah. So let me not say I'm a leader. I'm an orchestrator.
Come on.
I'm a conductor. You know what I'm saying? Because each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? There is something that I can learn from each and every one person that I'm teaching something to.
Yeah.
Even if it's a new way to teach something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, you understand differently. For sure. I'm a problem solver. I say it all the time. I'm a solutionizer. And I know that probably ain't a word. I like making up words. You know what I do.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's the problem at? For sure. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's see how quick I can do it.
Yeah.
Type thing, whatever. So it's like,
I second that, King, brother. Like, as a leader, I don't send them. I go with them.
Yeah.
Like, if we coming up with the problem, man, I'm gonna help you figure out the solution too. Hands on, getting dirty,
man.
And it changes your mindset on things too when you start to think. Because I would say the funny thing about it is part of recognizing you need to go your own path is probably recognizing like there's a problem you've been dealing with that you needed a solution for probably for a long time.
Yeah. Or
you keep having to find constant solutions too, and you're like, all right, no, I need to like, something has to change here. Something has to give, or something you're tired of dealing with. I feel like the path of finding your own path as a man starts with some kind of a problem.
I mean, all the wealthy men out there, I hear them say, you know what I'm saying? You want to become wealthy off of your own dime? Figure out a solution to a problem. Give it to the people, charge them for it.
Yeah.
Simplistic.
And think outside the box of them problems. Because
man,
the funny thing on that, I heard a wealthy guy say, he was like, you can cook, right? So can you make a better burger than McDonald's? He's like, all right, so how come McDonald's serves more burgers than you?
Because they got drugs in that
Because the problem ain't about how good the burger tastes. The problem is
what's in the burger.
How quickly lazy people want food.
Yeah, that too.
The quantity of it and not the quality of it. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
They'll destroy themselves if they can get it quick enough.
Come on. That fast shit, it's not it. I
don't know what
your
that
own
life
path
is.
and come off of that.
It's just been a long while, but you know, whatever, you know. We are following, we are not following, we are leading, we are not leading. However you configure it to be, tell you what we will be is right back after these commercials. So, in closing, first of all, do y'all have any messages for the followers out there? Try to like gear them towards a direction of not following, perhaps.
Man, like, it's reading the room. We always use the term read the room. And a lot of times there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Like, sometimes it might be a situation to where you're used to being a leader. Sometimes somebody else may be the dominant person in the room to take care of that particular mission. And it's okay to take you know, to be a follower sometimes. So I just say find balance within your leadership to all the leaders out there and all the becoming leaders out there.
I'd say trust your gut and remember what your gut was, even after a long time after you first felt it. Because I know for me, the first time that I've had multiple times, but the first time I really tried to pave my own path, not tried, did, you start to feel doubts after a while. Things don't look like they're going your way. But you had your initial feeling for a reason in your gut. So trust your gut, stick with it, and eventually, you know, things pan out and it's supposed to feel different because it's not who you originally were. The leader version of you is not like the follower version of you. You might dress similar, but up here you ain't different. You ain't the same.
Man,
Come on.
believe in you. Believe in who you are. Believe in how you operate. Learn who you are. Learn how you operate. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never be a follower. You'll just be a sponge in the simplest form. You know what I'm saying? Sponge, just collecting information, adding on to who you are, building up, killing shit. You know what I'm saying?
The software adds to the hardware.
Man, programming. We programming. Shout outs to all the sponsors. Shout outs to you for being here. Make sure you hit that like, that subscription, that notification, ding, 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 so you know the next time we up in this thing every Tuesday, 6 p.m. every last Thursday of the month. We talking dirty after dark. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the one this month. Ooh, yeah, nasty, yeah, dirty. You know what I'm saying? Do the damn thing, fellas. Y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling righteous? You feel like we can get up out of here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get at y'all another time.
Yeah.
Trouble T Mills, Kendon, you know what I'm saying? Mac Millie. We gonna holler at y'all like this.